COVID-19 crisis, foreign investors find Vietnam a promising market. And Vietnam will also welcome its residents home finally. That and more news from our EBC correspondent, Ralph Wandolph Empire. Hello, Ralph.
Hi there, Alma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
That's right, Alma. According to Ministry of Planning and Investment's Foreign Investment Agency, or FIA, the total foreign investment inflows in Vietnam reached $12.33 billion in the first 4 months of this year. The 4-month period saw 984 new foreign invested projects licensed with a total registered capital of $6.78 billion, and the 335 existing projects were allowed to raise their investments by more than $3.7 billion. From January to April, foreign investors spent nearly $2 billion buying shares or contributing capital to Vietnamese firms. Foreign investors pledged to pour capital in 80 sectors, in which manufacturing and processing took the lead with nearly $6 billion, accounting for 48.4% of the total capital. It was followed by power production and distribution, wholesale and retail, and real estate, the FIA said. Now, Singapore was the country's largest source of FDI, as the committed volume accounted for 41% or $5.7 billion. Thailand and Japan were the runners-up with $1.46 billion and $1.68 billion US dollars respectively, followed by mainland China, Taiwan, and South Korea. Now, regarding repatriation, the Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam announced on April 21 that 30 flights would be scheduled to bring home Vietnamese citizens from Japan, the US, Canada, France, Russia, Spain, Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand, and the UAE. 3 flights have repatriated Vietnamese citizens stranded overseas, and 4 more are scheduled for the coming days. According to the Ho Chi Minh City Department of Health, the metropolis has not recorded new COVID-19 cases in the past 20 days. Now, to keep the epidemic under control, all passengers arriving at Tan Son Nhat International Airport from abroad have been required to take quick tests to detect suspected cases. They also need to fill out health declaration forms before being transported to a quarantine camp. The city currently has 22 quarantine facilities, and the Municipal Center for Disease Control is working with the local military command to prepare more venues. More than 10,000 beds in various quarantine facilities in the Mekong Delta are all set up and organized. With such preparations, Alma, the metropolis, is ready to receive a large number of arrivals from foreign countries. And by the way, only Vietnamese nationals and foreigners carrying diplomatic and official passports, such as business managers, experts, and high-skilled workers, are allowed to enter the country at this time. And all entrants will be quarantined for 14 days. And Alma, for the latest update about schools here in Vietnam, students in nearly 30 provinces and cities across Vietnam returned to school on Monday morning after a long break since early February. That was just yesterday. Most of the students are 9th and 12th graders who set to take the 2 key examinations for high school entrance and graduation in the next few months. Students in other grades are expected to return to school in the following weeks. In Hanoi, high school and secondary schools will return to school from May 4th, head of the city's People Committee, Nguyen Duc Chun, said yesterday. So far, the city has no specific plan for the primary schools and kindergarten, Vietnam Express, a local media, reported. And just to give an update, Alma, it's about the schools. Schools are asked to sterilize campuses, provide soap and antiseptic hand wash for students, and leave window open and minimize the use of air conditioners. In class, students wear face masks and keep a safe distance from each other. Alma?
Is the school only in Hanoi, or does it mean the whole of Vietnam, whole country?
It's actually the entire Vietnam,
Okay.
Alma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And how is Vietnam looking right now?
Well, it's It's beautiful. It's quite warm today.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the past few weeks, it has been cold.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Alma, I forgot to
Yes.
share this update about the COVID-19 test kits from Vietnam.
Oh,
As
okay.
per the local media reported, the World Health Organization, or
Mm-hmm.
WHO, has approved the COVID-19 test kits, which have been jointly developed and produced by the Military Medical University and Viet A Corporation. On April 21, the COVID-19 test kits passed European standards and were granted the CE marking and certificate of free sale,
Mm-hmm.
allowing the test kits to be sold in the European Economic Area, including the UK. Now, this each kit includes 50 separate tests, allowing for SARS-CoV-2 testing on up to 50 people, and
Mm-hmm.
is sold at 400 to 600,000 Vietnamese dong. That's equivalent to $17 to $25 per test.
Okay, so even though Vietnam has already loosened the restrictive measures, testing is still ongoing in
That's
various
right.
parts of the country. Yeah.
That's right, Alma. And also, people are still are mandated to wear face masks whenever we are going outside, especially in public places.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so measures are still in place, like social distancing and all that.
That's correct, Alma.
All right, thank you very much, Ralph, for your update, and we'll wait for more as we follow
Reporting
this
live
developing
from
story. Yeah.
reporting live from Hanoi, Vietnam. This is Ralph Randolph Empire. We live in interesting times.